What's up, everybody? Welcome to Saturday. It's December 21st. We have, 4 more days till Christmas. For those that didn't get their gifts and stuff like that, I know you're feeling the pressure. For those of us that have gifts and stuff like that, the best gift you have is yourself for your family. The best thing you can give anybody on this planet is your time. So I hope you're enjoying the holidays with your family. If you have people coming into town and stuff like that, enjoy every minute of that. Time goes by too quick, and we lose too many people too fast, and you can't get that back. As you can tell from the thumbnail, I've been seeing a lot of people doing these 40 and over videos. Are you too old to be a YouTuber? Are you too old to do anything in this life? And I wanted to do one as well, but talk about photography. So that's what we're going to be talking about today is people over 40 getting into photography. I know one of the biggest questions that people have is, am I too old for this? Am I jumping on to this ship when I'm already looking to check out, basically? And I'm here to tell you, no, you're not too old for anything in this life. As always, I want to start off with a little bit more about my situation. So when I got out of the Marine Corps, I went straight into the corporate world. I started working. But I also worked other jobs as well. My main career path was customer service and everything to do with, being behind a computer screen, either answering calls, doing orders and emails and stuff like that. But I found that it wasn't fulfilling, I got my little rag again, drinking coffee. I would work these corporate jobs, and then I would have another side job as well. Like I would work at, one job was Sprint. So I would work at Sprint, then work at Home Depot in the evenings, fill my time slot. Trying to be the head of the house. I had 4 daughters and bills come in and mortgage payments and stuff like that. So you're trying to create this stability, but inside you're being depleted of all your happiness. So it wasn't until later that I got into photography. And sometimes, I'll be honest, that question does pop in my head. I look at these young people and stuff like that, and especially with some of our gear, with our crane. I got the big old Zhun crane 3S, and that thing is a beast. It's heavy, and you hold it, and you spend just an hour holding that thing. If you don't have a strap, you're gonna be like, ooh. And then, so like I was saying, I see these younger people getting into photography, and I'm like, man, the other question comes in, why didn't I start this earlier? Then you start resenting things, and you're like, man, I should have done this a long time ago. Why did I do this? Why didn't I just step out? And I hope that this video, if you're in your 20s or your 30s, or even the 40s, like most of us, I hope it encourages you just to get out there and do it. Don't listen to any naysayers. Don't listen to other people. Don't compare yourself to other people. How I got into photography, as most people know that follow my channel, I bought a camera for my wife one Christmas. Actually, I bought 2, one for her, one for me. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead. Let's see what this is all about, Let's give it a try. And the reason I did that is because I had already doubted it because of the previous ventures my wife had. She wanted to be a yoga instructor, so we did all the yoga stuff. We bought all the yoga things. Then she wanted to sell Mary Kay, and with Mary Kay, you gotta buy the whole supplies. So I think I got tricked on that because she ended up keeping all that stuff for herself, even though I paid for it, because you gotta pay for it. But I think it was her way of getting all this Mary Kay product from the get-go. And then we went to Tupperware, the Tupperware parties and stuff like that. So I thought to myself, I'm like, hey, this is probably going to be one of those other things too. And I was already above 40. Let me be transparent. I'm 49. Next year, I'm going to be 50. I know I don't look like it though. Just kidding. But I'm going to be 50. So we always doubt ourselves. If you've been in a career path for more than 25, 30 years, it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing to flip and transition to something else. And especially if you're Hispanic. And I'm not trying to label anything, but in our community, we're taught to seek out employment, be a contractor, be a construction person, build things. And photography and music, that stuff's hobbies. So, and that's the way I thought of it. So I never really, I never wanted to get into photography in the beginning. I'll be honest with you. It just never, it wasn't like, ooh, I want to be a photographer. Ooh, that sounds amazing. No, it was just like, okay, well, let's give it a shot. It might be some extra income. So my wife would start doing minis, the first, what they call it, trade for print, TFP shoots, what you do for your families and friends like that. And then we went to family sessions, and then we went to portrait photography, and then seniors, and then we did our first quinceañera, an event, and she liked it. So we continued doing quinceañera events, just strictly photography. And I had to go through that learning curve. I had to learn the equipment. I had to learn everything about photography. I had to learn the ISO. I call it ISO because I really don't care what people call it. But the ISO, I had to learn everything, composition, lighting. And then we were doing quinceañera events. She throws another curve in it, another stumbling block. She's like, hey, I want to do video too. And for those that don't know or that are jumping into photography, when you start doing events, if you're doing photography, it's going to be harder to sell your packages because they want photography and video. They want the complete package. They don't want to deal with multiple vendors. I don't. So there was another learning curve for me. I had to learn video. I had to learn frame rates. I had to learn the angles. I had to learn how to use different lenses. Learn the different lenses from, cinematic lenses from your ordinary photography lenses. So I'm glad I did that. It was scary, transitioning from the corporate world where you work so hard into a new venture that you don't know anything about. That's scary. I mean, let's be honest, if you're always standing firm on something and then I'm going to do this, it scares the pants out of you. And it still does sometimes, you don't know what the year is going to be like. So for those that are over 40, it's natural to be afraid. But if you love something, why not do it? Why go to the grave and resent yourself for not even trying? That always stays in my head with different things. I don't want to resent myself for not giving myself a shot, seeing if I fail. You always fail forward. You're never going to fail backwards. If you think of it that way. If you think I'm failing forward, it's going to help you in this growth, whether you're going to be a photographer or anything that you want to do, even coming on here. This is another stumbling block for me. Or not another stumbling block, I guess. I don't want to call it that, but another transition in all of this. We went from photography to video. Then I forgot the other part. We bought a photo booth business. Huge photo booth, a mirror, the big old LCD screen. I had to learn all that stuff. But the difference in between learning that you're starting to love and learning what you have to do, there's a big difference on that. In the corporate world, when you start a new company, you have to learn all the rules. Then you have to learn, if it's a customer service, you have to learn everything you have to say on the calls. You have to learn your call time, your hold time, everything. And then you're constantly being monitored and stuff like that, micromanaged. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. But now in photography, the only person that's micromanaged me, even though, my wife's a tough boss, man. She runs the ship at this house. So when I'm doing my editing on photography and stuff like that, she's very critical of everything that I do. So, but it's mine. It's ours. This is our thing. No one can take that from me. I was in some corporate jobs that they just drained every freaking thing out of your body. And you work so hard, and then you see these other people that are bunch of kiss asses getting promoted. I'll share a story. I was in this big company, and I don't want to use their name, so we'll just call this person Ajax. At first, I thought it was a man. I mean, she's big, burly, you know, big old tattoos, big old ugly lion on her arm and stuff like that. I don't want to talk down on her, but she just, that nose was so brown, and it doesn't matter what anybody else did. Her mom, which was another minion that worked there, a little troll, was one of the managers there. So this person just rode the coattail of this. And now that I think back on it, I'm like, that's sad. Not being recognized for what you do, but just who you know. And I don't want to be part of that stuff anymore. And other people, you know, I'll share those stories later. I didn't want to start this channel on a negative note, but that's the difference between working somewhere and dying somewhere and working somewhere and living. Working, dying, working, living. I'm living now. It's not always, you know, a beautiful picture. I'll be honest with you. It's not always going to be perfect because it's your own business. If you get tired or you get sick, or like how we had to go down to Mexico, that stuff gets on pause. But if you work your company, you love everything you do for it. Everything that, it's not like a task anymore. Yeah, there's some redundant things that you have to do, you know, especially the culling process, that stuff, oh my God, it's draining. Or combining all your videos and going through like a whole event and trying to make a great video, it's kind of hard because you got to sit through the whole event that you already worked. If it was a 4-hour event and you're providing a 4-hour video, you're going through like 4 hours of video coverage with multiple screens. We use 5 to 6 video cameras. So I got them all in Premiere and I got to change everything all the time. So yeah, it could be tedious. So you, I think yesterday we talked about stepping away, and that's what I got to do every now and then. I did that this morning. I was working on another video for a client of ours, and I had to just step away from it because I was just going in my head. And then, like I said before, sometimes you gotta just multitask, and you're doing so much, you just need a breather. So, and this right here, at first I hated it. Coming on here and trying to talk to people and being comfortable, changing up things and doing things. You know, that was, like I said, it's been a learning curve. Trying to find my niche on here is different. I just stopped worrying about the niche. You know, you have a lot of people out there that are trying to hook you and tell you, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that. I watched a video today from another lady. Sorry, I just kicked this. I apologize. I'm not going to edit it out like we always do on the videos. I watched this other lady. I think she was from like Nigeria or whatever, and she was telling people how to gain all these subscribers. And it was her going onto this app that takes videos from other people and putting her little face and her little like, oh, good job. I hate those. Because you're stealing from somebody else. You're taking from somebody else's plate just to fill your own appetite. And she's got a huge amount of followers. And it's all people that are trying to do the same dang thing. And it's just not authentic. But then I watched this other YouTuber today, and he was just saying, you know, he was talking about how he did different types of things to gain attention. And then when he just got on there and just was himself, all the people started following him. Authenticity, doing it because you love it instead of trying to do it as a means to fill your appetite, whether it's ego, financially, or whatever. The moment you start doing things because you love to do it, it changes everything about it. You start to smile on the outside and then on the inside. The corporate world just drained everything out of me. I realized I was coming home and just bringing a lot of that stuff with me. And then sometimes you find yourself trying to climb this corporate ladder that no vale la pena. You know, you get to the top and you're like, I gotta be up here with these fools? I gotta be up here with these people that just talk down and bad on people? Hell no. I was in corporate companies that they would give you out these little awards. And the moment I got them, I threw them in the trash. Or I handed them out to other people. I was in this one company that they give you these little glass plaques, and it says like whatever, you know, this or that, this and that. And people were building these huge monuments to themselves, honoring what they've done and stuff like that. And I'm not one to gloat. I don't need that kind of recognition. I don't need a plaque, so I would hand it out. And people would be like, why are you giving me this? This is yours. I'm like, why do I want it? What is it doing for me? It makes no difference. If you give me an award and you're promoting this other person that doesn't even do anything here, and we're the grunts in the trenches, what does it matter if you give me that little stinking award? The Marine Corps, when I went in, it changed my thought process 100%. Because before I would be like, hey, you know what? I gotta show off to people. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this. But in the Marine Corps, they showed you that the ones that are the most recognized are the people in the trenches. They're the ones behind the screen, behind the scenes, I'm sorry. Those are the ones that are the heart of a platoon, of a company. And I took that to the corporate world. You know, I worked hard, and people would have to force me. They're like, hey, you know what? I need you to go into your yearly review of yourself and do all your accomplishments. I'm like, why do I got to do that? Why do I got to try to sell myself? My work should sell itself. And I would tell these supervisors, we'd have these meetings. I'm like, look, I'm not going to kiss your ass. If that's what you're looking for, I'm not that person. I'm here to work. I'm here to do what I got to do. Yeah, I might go up over and beyond what I'm required to do, but I'm not doing it for you. I'm not doing it for the company. I'm doing it for myself. And they would be like dumbfounded. They're like, why don't you want to put that on paper? Because I don't need to. You're my boss. If you're gonna do a yearly review on me and my achievements and my work ethics and what I do, you should already know what I do. I shouldn't have to tell you what I do. And that's the thing about the corporate world. Emotionally, it just took everything out of me. Everything. Because I felt I had to fight these other cats that are kissing more ass than I do. And I'm not one of those. I'm not the ones that, I'm not going to go and try to ride your coattail or try to ride a coattail of my mother or my father in the same company, which I didn't even know it was possible. How can you have a mother and a daughter or whatever? I still don't know if that's a lady. Both of them. Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. But how can you do that? There's no way. There's no way possible. People are going to see that. The people in the trenches are going to watch everything you're doing. So, but going back, I know I ranted for a little bit. Like I said, I'm 49 years old. A few years ago, I made a statement to myself. I'm going to make the rest of my life the best of my life. And same on here. I'm not going to come on here and go back and try to edit everything. I'm going to do that in January. I need to fix this, and I'm seeing improvement. I'm seeing me comfortable. Now I'm sitting on the chair. Before I was standing up, I was doing different things to see what works. I found that this chair is making me more comfortable talking. I know I'm going to have to put the microphones up and the lighting and everything like that, but I love coming on here. I love talking now. I love sharing. I love being who I am is what actually changed. If you go back to all my videos, you'll see a different person trying to establish themselves. And I keep those videos up. I'm not going to take them off because it's going to show my growth. But what I'm seeing here on these videos now is truly me, is me loving what I'm doing again. So don't be afraid. If you're over 40, 50, 60, it don't matter. Just get out there and do it. There's no rules to photography. There's no person that you need to kiss their ass, you know? There's none of that. If you want to get out there and do it. If you're 10 and you want to be a photographer, get out there and do it. It don't matter what any of these people do or say. Like I said, I've run into a lot of douchebag photographers out there. And most of them try to come to you with their accolades. It's like part of their name. Like, my name is William Hernandez. I've been doing photography for 25 years. What can I teach you? Nothing. It's funny to me. So if you are 40 and you're gonna get into photography, don't be a douchebag. That's one thing I will tell you not to be, is don't be a douchebag. Douchebags suck. It gets you a bad name in the whole market. Just get out there and follow your dreams. Pursue your dreams. Be yourself. If you're afraid to jump, the next part of this, if you are 40 and you've been working in a company all your life and stuff like that, don't just jump into photography and be like, hey, I'm a photographer now. I'm going to F everything else. I'm going to do this. No, don't do that. Slowly build. Build your client base. Stock up your 401k. That way you have a reserve just in case. Strategize your exit plan for your entrance plan or for your dream. It took me a long time. Like I said, when we first started photography, I didn't let go of my corporate jobs at all because I was too afraid still. And that's being transparent, you know. You got some people that just jump out of the corporate world and become a photographer, and they're amazing, you know. Everything goes good, and I applaud them. Did I do that? No. It took a long time of me still working a corporate job and doing photography on the side. So I do want to make that clear. Make sure you have an exit plan. Make sure you have enough to sustain you, to make sure that you stay afloat on all your bills while you're pursuing your dreams. Don't just jump wildly. You know, you can take a leap of faith, just don't take a leap of faith to be stupid. Because those bills don't stop just because you started. Your house still has to be paid. You have to feed your kids. So if this video helped you, me being transparent, even admitting how old I am, like I said earlier, I'm 49, I'm gonna be 50. We've been doing this for 8 years. When I first thought of like 40 and 50, that number, I was afraid, you know? I was like, oh, I'm gonna be old and decrepit. When I hit my 40s, actually going into my 50s next year, I'm the most energetic I've ever been in my life. I got the most energy inside of me. My body feels good. You know, I'm not tired and beat. But it's because I'm enjoying what I do, if that helps. And I can't wait till I'm 60, 70. You know, I had my 4th grandchild a couple weeks ago. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention what that was. I was telling everybody to leave comments if it was a girl or a boy. It's another baby girl. So now I got 2 baby girls and 2 baby boys. So total 4. She's so beautiful. Gosh, she's so beautiful. I just looked at her and I hold her and wow. I used to think getting old was a scary thing. But when you're making the rest of your life the best of life, it's not scary at all. It's a wonderful journey. I'm complete. I feel complete. You know, my kids are always like, hey, this and that, this and that. I'm like, no, you know what? If I pass away tomorrow, I'm happy. I don't try to sound morbid, but I'm like, I'm not going to try to cling on to stuff because I've lived a good life. I had a lot of ups and downs, you know, I had some dark sides and stuff like that, but it's built who I am. It's built what you see. And when you're happy doing things in life, you can just see it. And I tell people that, you know, some people, like I said, they think it's morbid talking about death. But when you look at it as, I was blessed with all the years I had, then you're not so scared about it anymore. Yeah, it's been a wild ride. And it's just, like I said, it's just getting started. I'm 8 years into this and I'm having the best time of my life. Before, when people would ask me, like, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I work in customer service. I work at this company. And I would say it like that. And then they'd be like, well, what else do you do? I'm like, I do photography. Now it's not. It's like, hey, I'm a photographer. I'm a videographer. I do this stuff for a living. This is what I do. Let me share what I do. And I send them my website. I show them what we do because I'm proud. I'm happy. I'm doing something I love. And then now I see that same face that I had when I heard other people jump ship. I remember when I would talk to the photographers that are out there that just started. And I'm like, oh man, I wish I was like that. I wish I could just do what I want to. And now it's reversed. Now I'm telling people about it. Dang, that's awesome. Anyways, so tonight is the state championship game for North Crowley. So keep them in your prayers. Keep my wife in your prayers still. She's still bummed out about losing her aunt and all them, the family down there. Like I said, we got up here the other day at 2:30 in the morning and her aunt passed away at 3 a.m. So, but she did get to see her. Also pray for me too, because I showed a little short. The leaves are freaking crazy outside. There's a pile. And now I gotta go do the front yard because the neighbor called their gardener and all he did was just blow all the leaves on my yard. And so it's like, hasta acá, just high. But it is my responsibility, so I gotta get out there and clean it. I gotta go and rake up all the leaves and then take a shower and then head out to the game. So it's gonna be a great game. I get to be at one of the games for my daughter, which is the biggest one, the state championship game. We missed a lot of games this season because of Quinceañera events. They're usually done on a Saturday. So all her games were on Saturday this year. I don't know why, but I get to be there tonight. So if you're 40, just get out there and do it. If you're 30, get out there and do it. If you're 10, learn it, then do it. Chase your dreams. Accept the fear. Don't let it be a roadblock. Use that fear to energize you. And be blessed. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. I'm going to be on here again. We only have a few more days of this year, and I think I'm doing pretty good because I've been coming on here daily, and I can't wait till January. We got so much stuff going on. Like a lot of things planned. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Don't miss out on all that stuff. Come here, sit with me. Let's talk. Drop a comment. Let me know if this video did something for you. If you are starting a photography company, and you need help with something, drop me a comment. I talk shop all day long. My wife hates it. She wants me to talk about something else. Even my friends that are not photographers, they're like, oh my God, here he goes again. But I love it. So if you're starting a new channel with at the same time that I'm starting, share it with me. Tag me in your videos. Let me watch you. Tag your channel and I will go watch your videos. I promise. Drop a comment with your channel name or shoot me the link to the video and I'll jump on there. I'll watch it. There ain't no shame in that. We should be supporting ourselves anyways, especially if you're in my age range. We need all the support we can get. So there's some young people out there that walk circles around us. But I think with the people that are on my channel, they want authentic, they want raw, and they want just what we do here. So as always, thank you for all your support. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for being part of this journey. And I can't wait to see how far we go next year. So yeah, I gotta go do the leaves and then go to the game. And then we do this tomorrow. So be blessed. Have a Merry Christmas. If I don't see you, if you don't watch this video or subscribe to the channel, thank you. Like I said, once again, de todo corazón for watching this video. And we'll see you tomorrow. Deuces.